Hey there everyone, and welcome back to Real Living, and welcome if you're new. This video here is all of the footage of before, during, and after Hurricane Milton, everything that we had to clean up after Milton, and some of the wind and rain and damages that we received during the hurricane. So come along with me as we go through the hurricane. So the day before the hurricane hit, we wanted to get all of the last minute things done, which included getting this pool cleaned out. We usually use the pool water as emergency water. A lot of times I use it for the toilets or cleaning water and things like that because I try to keep it chlorinated so that it does not turn green. So it is definitely not drinking water, but we definitely had enough drinking water stashed away in the house that this was just the water for everything else that we would need water for. So I wanted to get it as clean as possible. Obviously, I knew that there was going to end up being debris and other things in this pool after the hurricane hit, but I want to try to get it as clean as possible before so that it would be a little easier to clean up after. And I also do not want all of this leaves and pine needles and all of that in my toilets and clogging things up. So I wanted to get it cleaned up before the hurricane hit.
Now, if you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret.
And then we also were able to get the shutters up, and the ones that are here on the porch, we actually put up ourselves. And then we have an awning that is over the windows in the kitchen, and we took down the legs on that and just folded it, screwed it into the frame of the window, the outside of it, so that it wouldn't move, and that we were able to protect our porch and our windows that way. We do not have coverings for all of the windows, but we also didn't have any wood, and we just took a chance, and luckily we were very, very, very fortunate to not have sustained any damage to any windows.
The things that we'll do, 'cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We don't ever need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret.
When we first started seeing some of the signs, it was about 3 o'clock, and we noticed that the winds had started to pick up. But by 5 o'clock, the rain started to come down, and it did not stop at all and let up at all. And we are in Central Florida. We are smack dab in the middle of the state, and where we are located was in the path of the hurricane, but as the hurricane shifted south, it ended up where we only ended up getting the outskirts of the storm, and it was a huge storm. And as lucky and as blessed as we are, and we did not sustain very much damage, we didn't even see the full force of this storm. This storm started to affect people before it even made landfall. there were tornadoes on the southeast areas of Florida, all throughout the south of Florida. Just the west coast that got just hammered with this storm. So many people still out of power. We were definitely very, very fortunate, and we didn't lose power, but we had a tree fall down, we had a roof start to peel up, and just the fact that we came away with such little damage was definitely a blessing, considering the millions of people that are affected by this storm. And it was definitely a very scary one. We stayed up all night and watched it, and it was just crazy. And my heart goes out to everybody who is affected and still having to deal with the aftermath of this storm. My thoughts and prayers are with you all, and I hope that you all of my viewers, can also give a little shout out, some prayers and everything to everyone who has been affected by Milton, and also Helene. Before Milton even hit, we were still suffering from some of those issues. So there is just a lot going on with this storm, and I definitely am very grateful, and I do not take for granted how lucky we were.
Things that we'll do, 'cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night, this summer night.
My question is, where's Pastures? I think she probably went in with Daddy. Of course, it don't want to wiggle now, right?
Hey, look, we got a branch down.
Ah,
Down there, get some footage of it. One of the branches in our bush was broke.
that was a good one. I wanted to let you guys hear some of the insane wind and rain that we were getting, and it just intensified for the next few hours after this last clip. And I just decided to stay inside and make sure that me, my kids, and my animals and my family were safe. So we just stayed up and we watched on the news, and thank God we didn't lose power, so we were able to continue watching the news until it simmered down and everything. But afterwards, all of the damage in our yard was substantially lower than so many other people and so many other places. So I know that this video does not give justice to the impact that Milton had on Florida and the coast. but we had some branches down. We had a tree that fell down on the fence. We had the roof of one of our sheds started to peel up, so Joe was able to get up there and screw it back down, and we were able to start on the cleanup the next day. And it was still pretty windy, but the rain had definitely let up, so we went ahead and started to take care of all of our stuff in our yard, so that if any of our neighbors or anything like that needed help, we would be free to be able to help them. So we definitely had a good bit on our hands.
Someday we will look back and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us, 'cause I wanna drive through the summer night, and when
We couldn't do a ton of cleanup on the day after the hurricane, mainly because we needed a chain for the chainsaw, and we had to go out to the store and get one. And on this day, pretty much everything was closed, and I definitely don't blame them, because we had flooding in our area, and down trees and people out of power. So only the basic places were open, so we needed to wait until the weekend to get the chain for the chainsaw. And so we just decided to do what we could, open up all of the shutters and get everything back in place. And then you'll see when we are lowering the shutters for the porch, the bush that's over there ended up getting in our way. And when we have these shutters, we don't just use them for the hurricane. They are definitely one of the main protections is for the hurricane, but we also put them up during the winter because we have a little heater on the porch for the dogs, and it's just a screened in porch. So what we found really helpful for us is to put the shutters up in the winter when it starts to get really cold. And on the inside, I will shut the curtains that are in there. They are insulated curtains. So I have the shutters up and the curtains up, and it will maintain a good temperature in there during the winter. But putting them up and down can be a bit of a hassle because the edge of the bush is really in the way of the one at the very end. So we actually decided last minute to go ahead and cut that bush and kind of even it up with that last shutter, so that it would make it a lot easier for us to open and close it throughout the winter, and also when really bad storms come in.
look back at this summer night, this summer night, this summer night. Oh yeah, this summer night, this summer night, oh, this summer night.
So finally it came to the weekend where we were finally able to get this tree taken care of. This tree fell on the fence post, and that is why it didn't take out the entire fence. It was actually a perfect spot for a tree to come down with minimal damage, because it only really messed up the top pole of the fence, so it's kind of an easy fix. But this tree ended up coming over from the neighbor's house, or not their house, but it's their land, and we do know these people, so they are aware that we were going to be cutting this tree and getting it back over onto their side where it belongs. They have machinery that they will easily be able to pick up all of the debris and everything, but they haven't cleaned this specific corner yet. So it was just a good idea to go ahead and just put everything back over there instead of hauling it off. So we just started cutting off all the branches and throwing them over the fence, getting them back over to the trunk of where the tree was, and then just cutting it into small pieces and getting it out of the yard, and then a little bit of cleanup afterwards just to get all the little stuff. But it was actually a pretty simple and really easy job. Turned out to be pretty quick. Now, the rest of this video is actually not so much Milton damage, but things that we ended up doing afterwards. Now, these two trees did actually have a couple of branches that came off during the hurricane, but we decided that it was really time to groom these trees and get them off the ground. So we ended up cutting off a whole bunch of limbs just to make them a little neater and a little bit prettier, because they are very, very overgrown, and it was a surprise that more branches didn't fall off during the hurricane. But we ended up taking a good bit off so that we could walk underneath it and also be able to get the mower underneath it. So we took off a whole bunch of branches and then went with the hedge trimmers and just trimmed up a nice clean line, pulled everything to the side, and then I didn't film it, but we did end up going ahead and taking all of these smaller pieces off of the big branches and using some of that to chop up and use for firewood when it comes to winter time. So we didn't get rid of all of it. We did keep a little bit of it, but only the really big pieces of the branches. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if I am to ask you for anything, it is just to give your thoughts and prayers out to everybody who's been affected by not only Hurricane Milton, but also Hurricane Helene as well. There are just so many people here in the southern states that have been affected by these storms and truly devastated by these storms. I am extremely lucky to be in the position that I'm in, that I was able to walk away from this mostly unscathed. I mean, just pretty much just the sadness and the heartache of me watching all of these people is honestly the worst that has happened to me, and that I am truly grateful for. I will definitely not take for granted the blessings that I've had to be able to say that my house made it. But there are so many people out there who can't say that. And for all of those affected by the tornadoes and all of the flooding in both the east and the west coast of Florida, all of those in Tennessee and South Carolina and Georgia and all of the places affected by both of these storms, it has been truly a huge impact on all of these states and all of these people. So they could definitely use your thoughts and prayers, and I really hope that they're able to get back on their feet, and I wish that there was more that I could do to help them get there. But unfortunately, I can only be a voice for them, so that is what I'm trying to do. So please drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you're from, and just say, please just say a prayer, or to anybody that you believe in. It doesn't have to be God. It can be any entity that you believe in. Just please give a prayer out to all of these people who have been truly devastated by these storms. And I truly thank you all so very much for watching.